2, 1.
Apizza.
Hey, oh, yo. Welcome all you Pizza Gavones to the first episode of Pizza Gavones. I'm Frank Zabski, the Polish Pizziola. I'll be your host. And for the record, I'm 23% Italian. That's verified by AncestryDNA.com. I want to talk about a couple things. First thing is, the main reason why I'm doing this is to have fun and make you guys laugh. The second reason is I want to talk about the history of New Haven pizza, or Apizza as they call it in New Haven. We're going to talk about Worcester Street. We're going to talk about Fairhaven, East Haven, West Haven, all the bakers that came over from the Campania region of Italy, so on and so forth. So we're going to have fun and we're going to learn a little history. I hope you enjoy it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce you to the guest Gavones. To my left, we got Timmy, the gorilla Gavone. Next to him, we got Donnie Spackone, or Donnie Spacks. Both from West Haven. Timmy's from A-Town, Allentown, and Donnie Spackone is from West Shore. So these are our guest Gavones tonight. Started going to Worcester Street in my mid-20s, fell in love with the place, haven't left it. Pepe's, Sally's, Libby's, used to have the secret number for Sally's all the time, and people used to get really upset when we used to just walk in, but it is what it is. About 10 years ago, I started making my own pizza, and ended up actually opening up my own mobile pizza business, fired up pizza truck. I don't operate it currently right now, but we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do with that coming up. So anyways, that's kind of my brief history. I want to turn it over to the Allentown Gavone, the gorilla over here. Look at him. He got the Gavone glasses, the toothpick. Look at his hands. They're like catcher's mitts.
And the pink cup, by the way.
The pink cup. These guys, they won't even let me get a word in over here. So Timmy, you go and you talk a little bit about yourself.
What do you want me to say? I ate a lot of pizza.
How many pizzas you eat a week?
A lot. I've eaten
2, 3.
Couple, 2, 3.
Yeah, probably. I would say, probably at least 3 to 4 a week. Yeah, honestly, you didn't get this big round belly for nothing, for no reason. So 3 to 4 a week, definitely. And I've eaten at many places throughout the state. Vesuvio, believe it or not, was one of my favorites. I mean, it was hard to go anywhere else outside of the neighborhood. Number one, we were young then, but that was where me and all the boys went.
You ever get kicked out any places?
Oh, of course. Hard to kick us out though when we were spending, we were in Vesuvio 3 times a week. But Jerry, God bless him, he loved us. He took very good care of us, him and Carmen, and we used to go in there and drive them crazy. But we spent a lot of money in there, so yeah. That's it. That's all I got right now. Go to Spack over here.
Donnie Spack, what do you got?
Donnie Spack.
Well, Vesuvio is a great pizza. We loved it, but my parents wouldn't drive all the way to the other side of West Haven to get a pizza. So we in West Shore, growing up Italian in West Haven, pizza was always a huge part of our lives. And I had an uncle who had his own pizza place out in North Haven. He started out in New Haven as well. He was one of the pizza makers for Pepe's back in the 50s. So it was always part of our lives. And Friday nights were always big. My dad would bring home a pizza, and Danny's Express.
You bring home 1 pizza or 2?
Probably 1 generally. Yeah,
oof, that's
one.
tough.
Times were tight. It was the 70s, man.
Yeah.
1 car.
Eat 2 slices. That's it.
That's it. And Danny's Espresso was a big one for us. Mike's.
What about Dominic's? You ever go
Dominic's?
there?
Yeah, Dominic's was big. It was only takeout.
Yeah.
So when my mom worked, she worked at the bank right around the corner from there, New Haven Savings Bank. She would bring Dominic's home all the time. And Dominic's was fantastic. I don't know if it's still Dominic's. It's still there, but I don't know if it's still called Dominic's. But that was excellent. And then a treat for us was to parties, to go down to the center. And then once in a while, we never went to Sally's when I was a kid. We never went to Modern. Obviously, bar wasn't around, but we would go to Pepe's. I want to say twice a year. That was a big treat when we would go, and and it always seemed a little different when you went in there. Just not even the pizza, just the atmosphere and the crowds and everything. But and we would get Friday night was a big pizza night for us. We didn't eat out a lot.
You almost done or no?
Let me tell you something. I'll walk right out of here and throw a beating on you before I leave.
I mean, you're like you're filibustering.
I'll filibuster. That's what I do. You bring a Gavone lawyer to the Gavone pizza thing, and I'm not going to talk.
I thought it was great. I thought he did good.
You know what?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I thought he did good.
I'm true with you.
Yeah, I thought he did good.
So now we got all that cleared up.
Oh, you got to get back to me.
Two absolute Gavones. You can see already. See what I'm dealing with.
Got to get back to me. I mean, we're talking about. I used to wait around.
You had your turn, man. You're done.
Never
mind your turn.
The 2 slices. I used to stick around and eat everybody else's crust. I mean, that's what we had to do. Us fat guys, That's what we did back in those days.
Back then, he was just a fat guy in training.
Yeah.
He was a cross-country runner.
That's right.
Did you know that?
23% Italian or whatever. That's what he is. 23.
Now he's 23% Gavone.
That's what 23% Gavone.
But if you look, but I tell you something though.
What happens when you make a pizza?
But if you look around the neighborhood here, he don't look too Gavonish to me
anymore.
I think
I agree.
He's I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a little.
Definitely moved on up to the east side. That's true. Yeah, little bougie there. Yeah, that's true. True story.
But we digress.
Yeah.
So these guys are done, shutting them down. So the one neat thing about both these guys, and we're going to get into this in future episodes, is everyone knows Sally's, Pepe's, and Modern. Those are obviously the Trinity, the big three in New Haven, but there's a lot of other pizzerias that were there before and after those three, and both these guys actually have connections to those. Timmy's mother's sister's husband, I think, was Minervini. And Minervini's, I believe, was big in, was it East Haven?
East Haven. Originally started in Hampton and then moved into East Haven. So he's in East Haven. Still there. Along with
your cousin Nate is still
making pies, still slinging pies, and so is my other cousin Kenny, who's got a pizzeria in Wallingford.
Okay.
Still very good.
All right.
Yeah.
And then Don over here, Donnie Spox, he married a Sonati. So his father-in-law, Big Al Sonati, his father's brother was Lou Sonati.
His uncle.
His uncle?
Yep. His father's brother. Yep.
Yeah. So his uncle was father's brother's uncle, whatever the hell it is, was Lou Sonati. Lou Sonati was also a big name back in the 40s and 50s, and his claim to fame was that he actually invented an automatic pizza making machine. And we're going to get into that more again down in other episodes, but I just wanted to point that out, that not only are these guys from West Haven and absolute Gavones, but they have lineage to Worcester Street and the whole New Haven pizza scene. Okay guys, we're going to start on the topic of the night, and the topic of the night is going to be Gavone with a G or Cavone with a C. And before we start getting into that and debating that, I want to read you some responses I got from our Facebook All About New Haven Pizza group. So here we go. We got Dr. Bob Granger, and I'm going to read you what Dr. Bob's response was on how to properly spell Gavone. So Dr. Bob said, the words, when written out, are spelt, and I'm not quite sure spelt is a word, but I'm going to say it anyways.
For Gavones, it is.
Are spelt in standard Italian. The complication is that the Italians who migrated to America over 100 years ago did not speak standard Roman Florentine Italian. They spoke a variety of southern dialects, mainly Neapolitan, with their own pronunciation customs, complicating things further. Like he's got, paragraphs on this here.
He's not a Gavone.
Oh, no, he's not a Gavone. Complicating things further is that many were illiterate and the pronunciations were not written down. This is why you can walk into a bakery and see a sign for pizza cina, dog pie, and then hear people pronounce it in a way that resembles pizza game. Changing a hard initial C to a hard initial G is characteristic of the Neapolitan dialect. So the next response we got from Michael Husky Bass Briglia, I think that's how you pronounce it, Briglia. If it's spelled wrong, it makes you even more of a Cavone or Gavone, which is perfect. I've always been partial to stunad, and I actually like that word too. but it's not part of this discussion.
Love it.
Yeah, you love it because
Yeah, well, you know.
if the shoe fits, wear it. All right? And he also gives us a definition, Cavone, C-A-F-F-O-N-E, which is pronounced Gavone, depending on dialect, means commoner or common person. I believe it's spelled Cafone, C-A-F-O-N-E, and pronounced Gavone, mostly by uncultured Americans of Italian descent. And the last one is by James S. Bertolini, Sr., not Junior. I'm just going by my Italian grandparents and older relatives. The G seems to be a Jersey thing, and the C is a greater New Haven way. Okay. From the official dictionary of hardcore Italians, Gavone, spelled C-A-F-O-N, but pronounced Gavone with a G, one who eats a lot. So there we have a couple samples of.
Start looking at me.
Now, what's the difference between a Gavone and a Spaccone?
Well,
now, am I both?
You are definitely both.
Okay.
All right. You're definitely a Gavone and a Spaccone, and I'll tell you why. I remember probably 20 years ago, we were going out somewhere, and Donnie was at the bar. And you ever see that that scene in Caddyshack with not Chevy Chase, with Rodney Dangerfield? I'll take 2 of those, 3 of those, 5 of those, 1 of those, and oh, get that person over there, by the way, get that damn stuff.
Okay.
That's Donnie Spock. So
that's a Spock.
That's where he got the Spock from. That night, he was a Spock.
Henceforth, Spaccone.
Right.
All right. And Donnie Spock sounds good.
Exactly.
I like it. All right.
So what's your feeling on the G or the C, the Cavone or the Gavone?
I've always known it as Cavone.
With C.
With a C. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's funny that the guy who said Cavone is a New Haven area thing and Gavone is more Jersey, because growing up in West Haven, my parents and all my relatives said Cavone. But then when I got to college, and there was a lot of kids from just going to college, prevent me from being a Cavone?
No, you got a degree in Cavone.
Okay, all right, I got you. All right. So guys from Jersey, Long Island, everything, they would say Gavone, which is interesting that they say that. So I'm going with my New Haven roots saying Cavone.
C.
C.
Yeah.
Tim?
C.
And my father even put out even short. It wasn't Cavone. We said it was Cavone.
Yeah,
Cavone.
Yeah.
That's the way my father would say Cavone. And he would. Growing up, I heard that a lot. My father would call me a Cavone. I don't know.
Every time I walked in
again, shoe fits, wear it.
Absolutely.
Every time I walked in my cousin's pizza restaurant, that was the first thing I heard. Oh, he's here. The Cavone's here. You know? How many pizzas are you going to eat today?
Okay. So what we want is your guys' feedback. We want to know what you think about the G or the C, Gavone, Cavone. We want to know about West Haven, your experiences, what you think is the best in West Haven. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this show. Please like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel, Facebook group, and YouTube channel. And please, any constructive criticism, we're more than happy to listen to. And if you have any topics that you want to talk about, we'll put those into consideration. And I've also got a short list of other guest Gavones, not just these guys. And I got a couple of people I've already talked to that are going to be on the show.